Hello, everybody. This is Gabby Panetta from the All About Wellness podcast. And I have the pleasure of interviewing today one of my presenting groups that are going to be at the All About Wellness Expo in Kingston, Ontario, May 30th to June 1st of this year. Welcome, ladies. This is Los Encantos Kingston. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hola.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
having
having us.
Oh my goodness, it's such a pleasure. So this is a trio, three women from very different backgrounds. Tell me, how did you meet? Did you know each other before you decided to do this? Like, how did this come about?
All right. You can go, Tara. Go.
Yeah, okay. So we all met through the dance community.
Okay.
What's really interesting about the dance community is it tends to be a lot of people that haven't developed their roots in Kingston. We've kind of come from different places, and we're like, how do we meet people, especially being adults? So we tend to kind of gravitate to social dancing to develop those connections with people within the community. So that's kind
Amazing.
of where we all met together, and then we developed a group because we're all interested in performing and just having a team of other women, like-minded women, getting together and doing something that we love to do.
That's awesome. So, and did you each individually take classes before? I know you mentioned through that you met through the dance community, but did each of you train in dancing formally? Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of us met kind of through Q Salsa, which is for the student group. And we kind of met
Okay.
through there, and within some of the social dancing, we just get to know each other.
Okay. Amazing. And so again, I mean, you're all from very different backgrounds. And what led each of you to sort of the liking of or the passion for, because you have to be really passionate to actually teach any sort of dance. But especially Latin dance, when that's not your back, like I grew up in, I'm Mexican, so I grew up with Latin music. So for me, it's kind of a natural. But what led you to be interested in Latin dancing? Like, did you guys used to go like I do?
I think we all have different reasons why. So if you
Yeah,
ladies want to go first.
sure. So Tamara, what was your reason for getting into Latin dancing?
Well, it was kind of how would I say? It's a kind of a different story because I started dancing at a very late age, and I started with hip hop, and then I got really into belly dancing when I was living in Spain. But the funny thing that I was very exposed to salsa and bachata, and I don't know why I never got into it until I moved to the US and I saw a performance, and then I said, "Oh my gosh, I want to do that." And I start joining classes, and after 1 year they said, "Oh my gosh, you're really good and we want you to teach for us." So I was very lucky that they trained me to teach, and
Amazing.
so that's how I started. And then it was on and off. It was all on and off because you really have to give dedication and time. And so then when
Yeah.
I arrived in Canada, I met these beautiful ladies and I started dancing
Aw.
again after COVID because COVID stopped
Yeah,
everything. And we
everything.
started
Yeah.
connecting again. And now, we're growing little by little. And
Yeah.
it's been an interesting and fun journey.
Amazing. And Ksenia, how did you come across Latin dancing?
Well, I was looking for something to do outside my job, and the timing worked out perfectly because it was also after COVID, and I was researching where would I find any dance classes because dancing was my dream always, but I never tried it before I grew up, so it's never too late. Um, and I found Q salsa classes because it looked like a fun and easy going community and not too much commitment that uh, I was kind of skeptical about because I was a working professional and I didn't want to spend much time. So dancing was always fun for me and it still is. And I guess it's just kind of a person who picks up things really, really quickly. And my background is teaching, so that's how everything that I start doing, I eventually end up teaching. So
Yeah.
this is how I
Nice.
met the ladies and started started teaching. But yeah.
Very interesting. And Tara?
Yeah, so my background is originally in fitness, and I was looking for a hobby that was active and then also to meet people. And I started in swing dancing, so I also was late to the game as an adult being a dancer.
Love,
And I
love it
started in
though. Swing
swing.
is fun.
Exactly. But then the teacher said there's something in the way my body moves that needs to go and be in Latin. And then I
Your
did, and
booty
I was like,
sways.
oh yeah. Yeah, so exactly. And then years later, did a DNA test and found out my blood was not what I thought it was. So everyone's like, it's in your blood.
No, it is, right?
Yeah, so yeah, I just felt right with the rhythm. And I started in
Interesting.
2011 and I was like, that's it. So I've taken a bit of time off with COVID and an injury, but I always keep coming back to it. And
Yeah.
I love how it brings everybody together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've watched quite a few of your videos on social media and it just looks so much fun. And I correct me if I'm wrong, but you're sort of teaching in a facilitating way as opposed to instructional. Does that make sense? Like you're not rigid about, and correcting people every two steps. Like you kind of let them have fun in the process and then, there's certain, yeah. So I'm okay. My perception was correct of watching how you teach, which I love. Because anything that's too regimented for me is like, oh, I'm out because I don't do rules. So
Exactly, exactly.
yeah. And
Dancing is not about rules. We always encourage our students to smile and just to take it easy and really, really enjoy every move. It's not about.
yeah, yeah. I had a kind of a, I don't want to say traumatic, but it was a really bad dance experience. I was taking salsa in Etobicoke when we lived there, and I got at that time I was still single, and I got paired up with somebody who was an engineer, and he was very rigid, and just he had to have like every step had to be calculated, right? And I'm just not like that. And so anyway, we were doing a turn, and he did exactly what the instructor said not to do, and I was like, oh my, and he's like, why can't you be more serious? And I'm like, why can't you smile a little, dude? Clearly we're not matched for each other as dancers. So um yeah, I was so happy to see the way that you teach. Okay, so what styles of Latin dance do you teach? Because there's a variety of them. So what's the main sort of styles that you teach at the classes?
Yeah, I can chip in on this one. So we teach salsa and bachata. So there are different types of salsa and different types of bachata. So we
Yes.
teach salsa on one or salsa in a line.
Okay.
And yes, because there are other types of salsa. So that's what we teach, and we teach for beginners, we teach for improvers or an intermediate. And bachata, we teach bachata, modern bachata or bachata urbana, which is a modernized version because bachata originated in the Republican Dominican. It's a different thing. So, but then it
Yes,
got
very
modernized.
much.
So it's which is uh, we teach what is more popular, in the social
Okay.
dances, what it's easier to teach and to grasp. And
Yes.
yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
journey, and
because
we're looking forward to add more. Yes.
Yeah, we
yeah.
teach the styles that tend to be most popular all over the world. So it doesn't matter where you
Yeah.
go, you'll be able to dance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought I had taken salsa, but I didn't like when I was learning salsa in Etobicoke, it was Dominican salsa. I didn't know that there was a difference between Cuban salsa, Dominican salsa, Colombian salsa, Mexican salsa, and I was culturally like out of the game. So the only thing I knew. And so I'm glad that you've sort of standardized it, much like English, standardized English or any other language, right? So that's awesome. Yeah. So it's the language of dance. Amazing. And because this show is focused primarily on mental health as well, because it is, if not the biggest issue with people's health today, especially after COVID, um, What benefits does dance have to improve somebody's mood, or say they're having depression or even anxiety? How does dance help you make a mind-body connection or actually snap out of the moment?
I can talk about that one.
Okay,
So
awesome.
there's so many benefits to your health, just exercise in general, getting the heart rate going. This is going to make you feel better and increase those happy hormones. But it's much more than that. When you're learning something new, your brain isn't thinking about all the other things that's going on and causing you stress. You're in that moment. So it gives you time to just throw everything aside and just focus on something and have fun and laugh and smile. And then the other, I would say, important part to it is the community, having people there for you, and we support each other. When you're depressed and alone and in your home, you have no support.
Yeah.
So getting out and being around people and developing your community is really important for that mental health and having support.
Yeah. Ksenia, you as a corporate sort of trainer, um, what benefits would you say this has? Because part of the show actually incorporates the corporate community as well, HR
Mhm.
professionals that are hoping to implement additional wellness services to both their employees, but also maybe employee events, as well as their customer events. So, how does this bring an additional benefit to the corporate world?
Well, I guess any sort of movement switch you out of the corporate environment where you sit in the office all day and staring at the computer, right? So just getting up and move sometimes helps. I usually do it in my breaks. I just get up and I can do some couple salsa steps in the kitchen area. So it's just lightens the mood, I guess, and getting your getting energy in your body, so you do not feel drowsy, you do not feel like your body is completely rigid and stiff, and because you spent the whole day in the chair. I also wanted to pitch in on what Tara said. It's also about this connection, right? Because we teach partner dance, so when you have this connection with your partner, and sometimes it's a person that you have never seen before, or sometimes it's the person who you know, right? It's just getting all the things and learning all the things together. So you are establishing this connection with the person in front of you, and you understand that you are actually not that different from anybody else, right? You're making the mistakes, and you laugh at those mistakes, and you try to ask for help from each other. It's just that interpersonal connections that you can also work on while dancing. And corporate world also can be a bit a bit isolating, right? Because not so many, especially right now with all the Teams and Zoom chats, and not so many people actually having this connection between personal connections in individuals. So it's very, very beneficial for so many people.
Yeah. And Tamara, what's your perspective on the benefits overall?
Yes, like adding to what they already said, the connection is a big thing. If you think about it, when we teach, we don't tell people, like, we teach them the steps, but then when it comes to social dancing, we don't tell people what you do. So it's this connection that you build with the follower in the lead without words, let's say, right? And just
Mhm.
holding hands or embracing close embrace, or open embrace. And there's also something magical about the music and the atmosphere overall. Like, it's a very upbeat music. If you have the chance to see a live salsa band, for example, you might see all these instruments, about like 10, 15 people on the stage. So and you're looking to every instrument. You're like, oh, wow, this is just brings up the mood, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a shift from the mood of sitting all day in the office or working all day, just doing something that you don't really think about it. Even when you dance, you're just paying attention to your partner and connecting. You're not thinking about other things. That's a time where my mind goes white blank. So
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, it's an experience. Yes.
So good after.
Oh, I know. It
Absolutely.
raises the endorphins. It's like your natural morphine. You don't need to get high
Yeah.
on anything else. You get high on your own endorphins and they're
Yes.
free.
Yes. And it's about
Um,
the growing yourself and discovering yourself, not about competing or things like this,
right.
you know. So
Yeah.
yes.
You know, something that I found very interesting years ago, I had the opportunity to meet the head of sales for Google Mexico in Mexico City, and their offices were phenomenal. I've never seen more magical offices in my life. Like they had a taxi cab inside a train, like a train car inside their offices. They encourage their employees to play and have fun because that's where creativity grows. And I asked him, what does someone have to do? How does someone get into Google? How do I end up working in Google? And he said, Gabby, if you're a programmer and all you do is program from day until midnight, he will never hire you. But if you come in and you tell me that you go after work and you take salsa lessons, you're hired. So I don't know that people understand how important it is in the corporate world to have that life work balance that people talk about but they don't really deliver on.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and you know it's a lot of talk, but when you actually practice that balance in your life, you feel better. And something that I teach clients, because I do a lot of corporate wellness coaching as well, and I work with the energetic body, with the physical body and the mental emotional aspect of our body, it is that when we put ourselves first on the priority list, we have to give, right? And if we're okay, then our partner's going to be okay. And that's our second priority, because most people prioritize with work being first, then their kids, then their partner, and they might come into the list, right? But if they take care of themselves first, then their partner, then their kids, then they either show up for work the way they should, being present, um, or, you know, if they don't do that, they either hide behind work or they're not present at work. So this is a great way for people to come to a happy medium where they're actually feeding their soul energetically, mentally, emotionally. And then when they show up physically, they're actually present, right?
Yes.
So um, you're going to do several live classes at the show, May 30th to June 1st, people. And so let's just say that I've never tried salsa dancing or any sort of Latin dancing, and or you have a left foot. Even though you were born in Mexico and you think you can dance, you're challenged in the coordination department. Could I still participate in these classes?
Definitely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I
Okay.
can. It's actually mostly older adults that have never danced before that get into social dancing. There's not as many people that have, danced from when they were a child and then gone into social. It's usually just people that are absolutely fresh to it. And we teach it, break it down right from the very basic step, make it very easy to follow and fun. And it gives you enough to be able to dance on your first day, just the basics.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So if
I strongly believe everybody is born and starts dancing with two left feet.
Yeah.
It's just a standard.
yeah, my husband and I like, you know, he'll go one way, I'll go the other, and he'll go
Yeah.
forward, I'll go back, like, or I'll go this way, and it's so funny watching. And he's like, "Okay, you don't know how to dance." I'm like, "I don't know how to dance,"
That's the fun
but
of it too, though.
yeah, you know, at least he's not as bad as the other person who said I just couldn't take it seriously. And I can't. Like it's yeah, I have fun no
It's
matter what. Um, okay. So how if anybody wants to contact you before the show or even after the show, how do they contact you? I know you're on Facebook and social media, but what are your handles? I don't know if there's any other contact information that you could give to us.
Yes, we do. We do have a Facebook, we do have Instagram, and we also have an email, losencantos @yahoo.com. All the information is on Facebook or on Instagram. You will find all the contacts. That's our main contact. We're building now a website, so that's gonna be coming out soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it Los Encantos Kingston? How do they find you on social media?
So yes, on Facebook it's Los Encantos Kingston Latin Dance Team. On
Okay.
Instagram, it's Los Encantos KG. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Ladies, thank you again. And thank you for agreeing to be amazing presenters at the show. I can't wait to take part of the class. And I look forward to seeing you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
It
Thank you
was
for
so
having
nice
us.
meeting you. Oh, thank you, ladies.